Another strong final session brought the curtain down on the Tattersalls December Foal Sale on Saturday, with further increases in the aggregate and average prices to take total turnover for the sale past the 31 million guineas mark. The top price lot on the final day was an expert eye colt from Paul and Sarah Thorman's Trickle-Down Stud, who was knocked down to Joe Foley on behalf of Clipper Logistics for 80,000 guineas. The colt, out of the Juddmonte-bred daughter of Oasis Dream Répondez, was bred by Alvediston Stud before being signed for on behalf of Steve Parkin's operation.
Well, he's a beautiful horse, very good looking horse. Reminded us a lot of his sire, Expert Eye, who we've long admired ever since we saw him in Goodwood as a 2-year-old. He was very impressive that time. We've watched him race ever since. And Steve and I were at America when he won the Breeders' Cup, and we particularly admired. We had a couple of runners that week in the quarantine barn sharing with Expert Eye, so we were close to him and admired him a lot that week. Sent some mares to him. So we've been a fan of Expert Eye. We've got those yearlings to go into training from Steve's farm, Branton Court. So we were keen. We're very pleased with those. And we're keen to buy another foal by him, and he was the one I really liked this week. And allied with his pedigree and his physique, we're keen to buy him.
The highest priced filly on the final day was a Westmore Stud consigned Dark Angel filly, bred by the Fool's Gold Partnership, who was sold to Simon Chappell for 70,000 guineas, buying out partner Dean Fielding. 3 lots also made 67,000 guineas on the final day, including lot 1070, a baited breath filly out of Oasis Dream mare Adore from Clearwater Stud, who sold to Richard Brown of Blandford Bloodstock.
We all know that yesterday is the sort of highest quality foals, but we looked at a lot of foals for today and I thought she was a bit of a standout, which slightly concerned me about whether I'd be able to buy her. She, by bated breath, is, really is a solid proven stallion out of the Oasis Dream mare. She's been bought for resale. Bated breath's done very well in America, and we sort of hopefully have half an eye on being able to perhaps resell her to the States next year. But if that didn't happen, we'd be happy to put her in training as well. She looked a real racy filly.
At the conclusion of a strong week of trade, Tattersalls marketing director Jimmy George reflected on the sale.
It's been a good solid Tattersalls December Foal Sale from start to finish. I think I have to be very, very pleased. The sale produced 1.8 million guineas sale topper, which was the highest price for a foal sold in Europe or North America this year, and the highest price foal sold in Europe since 2002. So that in itself was a fantastic result. 14 of the 15 highest priced foals sold in Britain and Ireland this year to date were all sold in the course of the last 4 days. So again, impressive stuff. And I think the feature has been the sustained domestic British and Irish trade from start to finish. The pinhookers have been out in force as ever, and they have played a massive part. They've been joined by a good number of people here to buy to race as well, and that's an increasingly important part of every Tattersalls December Foal Sale. And I think we can reflect on a really solid December Foal Sale with a clearance rate bettered only twice this century, and that I think demonstrates the depth of the trade, as does the number of foals that sold for 50,000 guineas or more, which was a record number. Well over 200 foals sold for more than 50,000 guineas, which again demonstrates depth to the trade, which reflects what we saw at the Tattersalls October yearling sale earlier, a market that arguably surprised a lot of people with the depth at all levels, and that has very much been replicated at the December Foal Sale. As ever, there were some fantastic individual highlights, with the most obvious being the 1.8 million guineas Dubawi colt, bred by the Swinburne family locally. An amazing triumph for them. They're such amazing contributors to the sport in so many different ways, and it was just wonderful to see them so well rewarded. He was a magnificent colt, representing the very best of British thoroughbred breeding in so many ways. So to see a spectacular result like that was really heartwarming. And similarly, the Frankel colt, the second highest price of the sale, 675,000 guineas Frankel colt, bought by MV Magna. He was bred by David and Trish Brown at their Furnace Mill stud. Again, real stalwarts of the British thoroughbred breeding industry for so long. And to see people like this rewarded so handsomely, and to see these powerhouses like Godolphin and the Coolmore team still attracted by the very finest foals is a fantastic tribute to the Tattersalls December Foal Sale and the wider British and Irish breeding industry. The strength of the trade over the last 4 days of the Tattersalls December Foal Sale sets us up nicely as we start the Tattersalls December Mares Sale on Monday, Europe's premier breeding stock sale, arguably the most international thoroughbred sale in the world in the eyes of many. We've got a really solid catalogue, really good catalogue, outstanding consignments from some of the world's leading owner breeders in Godolphin, Juddmonte, Shadwell Estates and many, many more. So, yep, there's still plenty to look forward to at Tattersalls this year.